We have a very special guest today. We are joined by Dennise Bacolas, who is the sole proprietor and founder of United in Strength, which is a powerlifting coaching. And she joins us all the way from Australia. Obviously, we have clients and listeners globally, which is really exciting. But she's joining us from Australia. So, Dennise, thank you so much for coming on today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I'm really excited
Yeah, of
about
course.
this.
I know. We're excited to have you on. It's like 5:30 in the afternoon for me and on Monday and 10 a.m. on Tuesday for you. So I'm glad we were able to
Yes.
work some world clock math and get us
Yeah,
here.
the time difference wasn't actually that bad. I literally thought I was going to get up at like 3 o'clock in the morning for this, and I would have. I absolutely would have if I had to. But then I was like, oh, actually, that's reasonable. It's like a reasonable afternoon for you and a reasonable morning time for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It definitely, I'm glad that it wasn't anything crazy because when we think about it, just like, oh my gosh, that's such a time zone difference. But thank goodness for the internet and being able to like Google time zone.
I know, right? That's what made it so much easier.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Like I said, you started United in Strength, which is your coaching company. You work with powerlifters, and we're also going to touch on an upcoming comp that you are hosting called Queens of the Platform, which just sounds really cool. And obviously, I have a soft spot for women's only powerlifting meets, just continuing to make space for women, not only in athletics, but also strength based athletics, I think is so important and so powerful. So tell me a bit about yourself, where you're at in Australia, and what got you started in powerlifting.
Yeah, so as Joni said, I'm Denise. I'm the owner of United in Strength, and I'm like a powerlifting coach. I've been coaching for 7 years now. Obviously not where I first started. I was just your stock standard personal trainer out of a commercial gym. I mean, some people would be familiar with like Good Life. That's pretty much where I started, and over the last 7 years, I have definitely changed with coaching and my style and things like that. And fell in love with powerlifting pretty early on. I think within like 2 years of being a personal trainer. And
Oh,
then,
wow.
from there, I've been competing and things like that as well. But I'm mostly, I mean, I kind of compare myself sometimes to like those Olympic coaches where it's like they are really good at coaching people, but they were never like kind of some of them anyway were never like the star of their sport. Whereas for me,
Yeah.
it's like I know I'm not super stupid strong, but I can like make people stupid strong. So that's kind of like where I feel like excel at, which is really good because that's what people want.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I do face to face and online coaching in Adelaide, South Australia. So some people like to refer to it as a small country town, but it's not. It's just forgotten about by a lot of artists and musicians and things who are just kind of like just here. But yeah, the powerlifting community here is quite small, but really tight knit and really, really good. So yeah, I obviously thought that there was a market for a competition like Queens of the Platform, and it's gotten really, really good responses as I thought it would. So yeah.
That's very cool. That's very cool. Yeah, I think we've touched on this before in the podcast that the best coaches aren't always the best athletes, and the best athletes aren't always the best coaches. And certainly you work in the online space as well. And not to like poo poo on like other online coaches or like other athletes, but if someone is like looking to get into, say, powerlifting or looking for a coach, just because that individual themselves excels in that sport doesn't mean they have a skill set to help you be good at that sport, because it's a whole different skill set to like be good at a sport compared to the skill set you need to coach people. Like that's
100%.
wildly different.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. Like I see it, sometimes all the time from people, and what works for an elite athlete is not going to work for your everyday person who just wants to delve into powerlifting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people I find leave the sport because they think it's too much and they don't have enough time
Mm.
and dedication for it. But like, I feel like you don't really need that much full-time dedication to it, especially if you just want to do it for fun. Like it's a hobby. For
Yeah.
some people, it's really serious, but for most of the people, especially my clients that I have the pleasure of coaching,